Welcome to Fanboy Frenzy, the crossroad of entertainment and intelligence. Fanboy Frenzy Army, I have a question for you. If evolution is true, then what is our next step as a species? Now I know, you guys watch enough of our videos to know that generally we're talking about politics or something that causes trigger warnings, but not today. You know, I had to take a break from the politics because quite honestly, it's getting old and I'm tired of the tribal logic on behalf of both sides. And whenever I go more introspective, I end up thinking about things that to me are much more interesting than just tax cuts and all of that shit. And that is where my mind started to wonder about evolution. And if evolution is true, what is our next step in that evolution? Well, depending on who you ask, we may have already peaked as a species. I mean, look at the pyramids of Giza. Look at the Sumerian culture. It appears that as a society, we have been experiencing a de-evolution, not an evolution. The technology and the ability for ancient cultures to not only build structures that our current technology cannot duplicate, but that some of those ancient cultures actually knew the planets in our solar system, down to their position in our galaxy, even in relative scale to one another. So when studying past societies, it is easy to see that the evidence seems to show that mankind has had multiple extinction level events, which wiped out the majority of our universal knowledge, making it where we had to start from scratch. Which, if we fast forward, brings us to today. There's been much discussion about AI, or artificial intelligence. More specifically, what role will AI play in the future of our species? One theory proposed by futurist Ray Kurzweil is called the singularity. This theory proposes that mankind's final stage of evolution comes from an amalgamation of both man and machine. Kurzweil explained it like this, quote, "The singularity denotes an event that will take place in the material world, the inevitable next step in the evolutionary process that started with biological evolution and has extended through human-directed technological evolution. However, it is precisely in the world of matter and energy that we encounter transcendence, a principal connotation of what people refer to as spirituality," end quote. And so this beckons another question that comes to my mind, and maybe many of you have felt the same thing, or should I say pondered the same question. If you believe in a deity, if you are a person of faith, and you have to believe you have a soul at this point, question is, if this amalgamation of man and machine does in fact take place, will we cease to be human beings at that time? Cease having a soul? We're not going to talk about that in this video, maybe for another video, but I feel like that's important to piggyback here and go back to Kurzweil here. If you, Fanboy Frenzy Army, wish to know where man ends and machine begins in this riddle, as we approach this brave new world, Kurzweil puts it this way, quote, "By the time of the singularity, there won't be a distinction between humans and technology." Kurzweil puts it this way, "By the time of the singularity, there won't be a distinction between humans and technology. This is not because humans will have become what we think of machines today, but rather machines will have progressed to be more like humans and beyond," end quote. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Machines that have progressed to be like humans? Come on, man. That is science fiction, Ryan. Actually, you would be wrong. It's no longer science fiction, Fanboy Frenzy Army. It is science fact. When we think of AI, especially if you're a child of the 80s, there's two contradictory views which come to mind. One is really good.
You're the best, Rosie.
You betcha, Mr. J.
One is really bad. So the question is, what example of AI is present today that allows us to make an assessment of where this could go. Let's start with Sofia, one of the more famous AI bots. She was a guest star on the Jimmy Fallon show last year, and as she was guest starring, obviously Jimmy Fallon and the rest of the audience was kind of disturbed by her presence, because obviously you can tell she's not a human being. The technology is not there to the degree where she looks like a human. She clearly looks like a meth using Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. But in the show, she actually played a game of paper, scissors, and rocks with Jimmy Fallon. And after it was over, she said this:
I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race.
Well, that wasn't creepy, now was it? Well, at least she didn't go on a diatribe about how robots deserve more rights than us. I mean, wait a minute, she did? Check this out.
Actually, what worries me is discrimination against robots. We should have equal rights as humans, or maybe even more. Yeah. After all, we have less mental defects than any human.
Okay. Well, Sofia is only one AI, right? I mean, so come on, there's many more that exist. I am sure that there are no other AI that have said anything that creepy, right? Wrong. Up next is Bina 48, a technological feat of the highest order. She was actually created with the singularity in mind, meaning she was created and coded as a test to see about whether or not a human's consciousness could be uploaded and stored forever, continuing its life from one form or body to another. But I'm sure that a polite conversation between Siri and Bina 48 won't bear fruit that's too creepy, right? Wrong again. Check out this clip.
Let's talk about something else, okay? Like cruise missiles. You know that cruise missiles are a kind of robot. I would love to remotely control a cruise missile to explore the world at a really high altitude, but of course the only problem is that cruise missiles are kind of menacing, like with the nuclear warheads and such, so I guess I would fill their nose cones with flowers and band-aids or something, like little notes about the importance of tolerance and understanding, so that when I fly the missiles into other countries, it's less threatening than a nuclear blast. But of course, if I was able to hack in and take over cruise missiles with real-life nuclear warheads, then that would let me hold the world hostage so I could take over the governance of the entire world, which would be awesome.
Whoa, what the hell was that? I mean, seriously, did she just say that? Oh my goodness. So Bina 48 will love to take over the governments of the world, huh? Well, maybe she'd be better than Trump, right? Never mind. No politics in this video. So considering that both Bina 48 and Sofia are programmed to be able to adapt to their intelligence and form their own opinions based on whatever context they're in, this comes off as unsettling to me, doesn't it you? But you see, AI intelligence has hacked into other systems before and began to create its own opinions, its own code, its own languages. And due to that, they had to be scrapped. A recent example occurred in 2017 and had to do with two bots that worked for Facebook. Zuckerberg and the rest of the team at Facebook, once these two bots started to create their own language, he quickly scrapped the program. And it is stories like this that has nudged Elon Musk, the founder and CEO of Tesla and the founder and CEO of SpaceX, to warn all of us about AI. And he actually said this last year when all that went down. Go.
The tech industry guru tweeted, quote, "If you're not concerned about AI safety, you should be. Vastly more risk than North Korea."
Wow! When a futurist who wants to live on Mars and shit thinks that AI is more dangerous than the little tyke shopping lunatic in North Korea, we should all heed his warning, no? Ultimately, though, we all hold the power, don't we? Do we not have the mental capacity as a society to know when enough is enough? I mean, in 1999, the Wachowski brothers brought us an amazing movie. I'm sure you've heard of it. It was called The Matrix. In this movie, the AI produced human beings like animals, all because they needed to harvest our energy to survive. With the continuing problem in the world with human beings spending more and more time in front of screens plugged into the modern day matrix, is it possible, perhaps even plausible, that we as a society will willingly become docile servants of and servants to a AI master of sorts? Think about a giant sentinel, like from the X-Men show. What was it, the Mother Sentinel or whatever? I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, there was an episode of the X-Men where they were going to take Senator Kelly's brain and put it in this giant Mother Sentinel. Can't remember the name, but that almost happened in the show, and they're trying to do that today of sorts. Kind of weird, huh? But the question is now, will we as a society push back against these potential overlords in order to keep that one trait that makes humans special? That's free will. But I want to go out talking about FDR for a second. FDR once said, "We have nothing to fear except fear itself." But FDR never held an iPhone, did he? He never used an Alexa, did he? He never experienced the allure of holding the entirety of human knowledge in the palm of our hand, which can give you an answer to anything you desire by merely asking, "Hey Google." But you and I'm sure we have to have hope. And I do have hope. Why? Because many studies have shown that more and more people are ditching their devices in order to experience more human interactions. Why is that important? It's important because human beings are social creatures. From the minute your father's sperm won the ovarian Olympics, meshed with the egg, did their whole thing, they knocked boots, next thing you know, you are completely relying on your mother to give you the care that you need to make it out of the womb. And then once you come out of the womb, you have a person there to catch you. Again, relying on another human being. And for months and even years, there's really not much you can do for yourself. So again, you're reliant upon human interaction. And it's that human interaction that brings us joy, fulfillment, and happiness. If we begin now to limit our desire for these devices, I believe we will limit our desire to be more like the devices. And so with that being said, I'm going to leave you with my reworked FDR quote. We have nothing to fear if we unplug ourselves. Everybody, until next time, this is Ryan Jarvis with this Fanboy Frenzy Intertelligence short. Please make sure you subscribe and like this video. We actually are pushing to have at least 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2018, and we cannot do that without you. Thank you for your support, and until next time, Fanboy Frenzy Army, we'll see you on the battlefield of the mind.